So the power when you take MCP and Maxio, it's really what's the core data below it is what is the magic. And then having a tool like AI that can help you get through that data quicker to get to a decision point can make the close, and really shifting from the 80-20 of instead of 80% of your time doing data prep, you get to spend 80% of your time now on the analysis. So here, if I ask it, Claude, to give us key observations and recommendations, what the management team should be aware of and where we should focus our efforts over the next 6 to 12 months, I'm going to ask it to format it in a tab so it's board ready. Let's see what it recommends. It's reading the table range and it's going to look at the data. I love that you can see its actual thought processes going through. And here I have it set to prompt me if it's making any decisions that potentially can go a path that you want to have that human in the loop. And so it wants to recreate a tab, so we'll allow it. Starting, so I'm going to just pause it here for a sec. Okay, so that took about 3 or 4 minutes for it to crank through all the data. But it's interesting, the tab that it created for observations and recommendations starts with an executive summary saying the business is growing at 10%, 214 million to 235. NRR is 108 to 116. So strong upsell motion, but it's saying gross retention stuck in the high 70s and CAC payback is stretching now to 19 months. Priority is to convert expansion momentum into durable unit economics by fixing gross churn and tightening sales and marketing efficiency, not by accelerating spend. And then it gives a recap of a KPI scoreboard with some at-risk type functions that shows you the 79 that we saw in the graph, and then the CAC payback is at risk below standard. It generated a whole bunch of key observations, positive and negative. So new logo velocity is slowing. And then for recommendations on the next 6 to 12 months, you're seeing creating a gross retention task force in the next 3 months. Defending gross margin that was in the 80s, so that is in good shape, so let's maintain that. And all in all, I think this is a good example of it can do a lot of the groundwork. Now, one thing I have learned, which I'm sure you have if you've played at all with AI, is trust but verify. I think a lot of this gives you a good framework, but the devil's in the details. I love that in Excel, you can ask it to give you the formulas and you can make sure it's auditable. And so that is a great starting place as opposed to just value only type fields. This, I guess, from where I think a lot of finance people find comfort is in the Excel type ecosystem. And then so taking what Maxio and your GL and now Claude embedded in Excel as an add-in really is like another analyst on your team, which is really great.